everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I want to talk about what it's like studying in a foreign language and my best tips for learning English. If you want to study abroad but you don't really know if your English is good enough, or you are going to study abroad but you're afraid that you're gonna struggle in uni, or you want to take an English test but you don't know how to prepare for it, all of those things, this video is ideal for you. Also, if you want to connect with like-minded women from all around the world who are in the exact same position as you are right now, wanting to study abroad, feel free to join my free Facebook group, Girls Study Abroad. Link to join is down below in the description box. It's this free, awesome Facebook group. You can get support and, you know, we are just in there all together, empowering and inspiring each other. So I would love if you would join our tribe. If you're new to my channel, then hello. What is this? Hello, my name is Laura. I'm a 21-year-old German small-town girl studying abroad in Scotland. So I've been living abroad in an English-speaking country since 3 years now, which is quite crazy. I also did a semester abroad in Canada, so I've been talking a lot of English over the past few years of my life. So a lot of people ask me where I learned my English, and I'm from Germany, as I just mentioned, and so we had English actually in school since grade 3, which is really cool. So in school I learned English for 10 years and I'm so grateful for it. However, I also have to say, despite learning English in school, I think majority of my English skills actually come from me watching YouTube videos. Like, you guys don't know, since the age of like 12, I was obsessed with like the beauty community, like American beauty YouTubers, and I would watch YouTube videos every single day, and I feel like that is really how I learned majority of my English. So I first want to talk a little bit about like what it's like studying abroad and you know, studying in a foreign language, my struggles, my personal experiences. I'm really fortunate that my English teacher in high school was incredible. She was really strict, which I appreciate because that is how I learned so many like vocabularies, and she was always really teaching us a lot about like writing. I loved English. Like, I love speaking English so much more than I like speaking German. That's also why my YouTube channel is in English, because I just love it so much. And that is why I also took an intensive course in English in high school, because in Germany you have to pick like intensive courses. So I did the one in English. I did learn a lot, you know, in school, but then when I knew I wanted to study abroad, I had to do an English language qualification at C1 level, and our intensive course in school was at B2 level. So C1 was, you know, much higher, so I did have to study quite hard for that. I did the Cambridge English Advanced Certificate. Also, by the way, not every uni wants you to do an English language test, so it's important that you check out the unis you want to apply to and see what language certificates they require, because not every uni requires a C1. So yeah, I did a lot of studying for that. I literally got all the material I could get. I went through every exercise. I studied so hard for this, actually simultaneously to doing my A-level exam. So that was a crazy time. I remember that. Like, the first half of 2016 was kind of crazy. By the way, if you want to watch a super embarrassing video of me doing like a coaching session for my Cambridge English test, you can check that out here. It's so funny. I literally came across that when I was writing my ebook Girls Study Abroad. When I was talking about like the English qualifications, my learning tips and all of those things, I came across that video and I was like laughing so much, like, oh my god, it's so hilarious. So yeah, and then I went to study abroad in Scotland, and that was kind of crazy because I've never been to Scotland before, and I've only heard that people say that the Scottish accent is really bad. So I was quite afraid, and to be honest, like literally I can remember it so well. When I arrived here, like in my first year, first time in Scotland I arrived, and then my university had organized like shuttle buses to get us from the airport to the student accommodation, which was really nice. But anyway, the shuttle driver, he kept talking to me and like explaining and like showing me whilst we were driving through Aberdeen, and I understood nothing. I was like sitting there, I was like, what did I do to myself? How am I gonna live in this country? I cannot understand a word. Now I know that, you know, accents in Scotland, they're so different. Like, Edinburgh accent is so different from the Aberdonian accent and from the Glasgow accent. I have to say, accent in Glasgow is the worst. Like, sometimes I can't understand But that is also so normal. Like even now, I sometimes have struggles understanding accents, and that's so normal. And sometimes even now, I have to ask people to repeat what they're saying, and that is so normal. Like in the first few weeks, I had to ask people all the time, sorry, can you say that again? Sorry, I didn't get that. And that's so normal. And honestly, also in the first few weeks, it was quite exhausting because it's obviously not like natural for you to be listening to the language all the time, to talk the language all the time, to communicate in that language. And it's normal. Honestly, guys, it's so normal. You're not the only international student there. So especially in uni as well, like professors were always talking so clearly. I feel like, I mean, only a few had accents, but most of them are talking really clearly because they know that there are a lot of international students. And also when it comes to the academia, what I found really funny is that sometimes I knew more vocabulary than like native speakers. Like even native speakers don't always know like the academic language, right? So it's all fine, like you are gonna figure it out. And honestly, your English will get so much better even just after a few days and weeks of living in a different country. Like believe me, it's gonna be so much better so fast. You're gonna get used to it so fast. All right, and then I want to give you 3 of my best tips for learning English and for being really good at English. And my first, that's like my biggest tip ever, and I tell everyone that, is to consume content in English. And you watching this video right now, this is a very, very good start. I highly recommend you guys to start reading English books, watch your favorite TV series in English, watch English movies, listen to English podcasts, listen to English audiobooks, whatever content you consume. Do it in English, really. I know you are gonna struggle. I know you're not gonna get the whole thing. I know you're not gonna know every single vocabulary. But the more you do it, the more your brain is gonna make sense of words. And if you learn vocabulary in context, that is the most efficient way to learn vocabulary because you're gonna remember it. It's a lot easier as well. It's a lot more passive. It's a lot more fun. Literally how I learned my English over so many years of watching YouTube videos. Start consuming content now. And the second tip I have, and that's especially if you like writing your application or generally you want to improve your vocabulary, your writing skills, is to always look up synonyms. Such a fun word, synonyms. My English teacher, she always told us, synonyms, you have to know like so many vocabulary, and it's so true. Like even now I sometimes look up synonyms to make my texts look more interesting, to be more, just to look nicer, to read nicer, more nicely. Wow, I'm filming a video about learning English and then I can't even tell. See? What's wrong? Yeah, synonyms are really great. I love synonyms. It's so fun for learning new vocabulary. I know it sounds like I'm such a nerd, but synonyms are great. And then my third tip is to actually talk the language. The best way to really do it is to go to the country, to live there, or to go on vacation. I know not everyone is able to do that. Filming my YouTube videos in English, or recording my podcasts in English, or writing blog posts in English. Maybe you can find a new passion project and do it in English, right? I'm running my entire business in English. I work with international clients, so everything is English. And also the Facebook groups I'm in, they're all English, right? And I'm constantly, writing in English, speaking in English, and actually using it. So really, quite honestly, think about all the areas in your life, everything that you're doing right now, and think about how can you do that in English. It's about integrating it into your daily life. Literally doesn't make sense to sit down with a book and just, study vocabulary. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. It's not fun. Context, guys, context. That's really how you are gonna master another language, and also trusting that it's gonna be fine as long as you pass the language test and you get into your uni. It's fine. You will really get a lot better when you go to the country. So yeah, I really hope that this kind of gives you some peace of mind. If you want to learn more about my best tips specifically for the language tests when you want to study abroad, again, I did the Cambridge English certificate, and I put a lot more tips into my Girls Study Abroad ebook, which is a complete guide to studying abroad, a step-by-step guide where I share with you all my tips, all my experiences, everything you need to know about study abroad. You can even get a 10% discount if you use the discount code YouTube at checkout. So yeah, it will be linked down below in the description box. Feel free to check it out if you're interested. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, found it helpful, and yeah, I wish you all the best for studying English and for acing your English test and for going abroad. I know you can absolutely do it. Know that you're not alone, you're supported. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!